So what I'm saying to you is that what I did was I did watch winter conditioning, and then as a staff we made some position changes. So in answer to your question, really that was more watching Billy Belton go from a receiver, not really ever having seen him play receiver, but watching him in winter conditioning and knowing that, to me, he had a running back skill set. That was a good move. He had a good spring. He was injured a little bit, but the times when he was out there, he showed flashes of really being able to help us.
He looked terrific.
Yeah. He's got to work on his ball security. I really think he's a good kid, and I think he can really help us. Nate Cadogan going from tight end to tackle, that was a good move. He's much more of a tackle than he is a tight end, and so that was a decent move. And he's worked himself into a backup position where he'll probably be able to go in there and play some for us next year. So those types of things were really, regardless of watching film, those were the things that really stood out to me. I feel good about the position change.
While we're on the subject of position changes, as far as Dakota Royer, do you see him staying on the opposite side of the ball or possibly moving back?
No, that's another change that I should mention. That was a good move. That his skill set. He has a better chance of seeing more playing time as a F tight end than he does as a linebacker. So, and I think he can be a really good special teams guy. I've identified probably 20 guys that are core special teams guys too. That's what you do in the NFL. You have not that many, in the NFL, but you have these 5 or 6 core special teams guys, and we've got that at Penn State. He's one of those guys. He should be involved in the big 4, which is punt, return, kickoff, and kickoff return. So, but he's going to stay at that tight end spot.
You said something about Jordan Hill being one of the best defensive linemen you've ever seen. That's high praise coming from New England and guys like Vince Wilfork.
I said, just to make sure I'm straight on that, I said he's one of the best college defensive linemen.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. That was kind of what I want to clear about. I misunderstood the quote.
Yeah, no, he's one of the best, and I'm glad you asked that. He's one of the best college defensive linemen I've ever been around, and he'll play pro football, but that's a whole other level. But he's got great explosiveness, really good hands, built-in leverage. But more important than that is he's a phenomenal kid. What a great kid! Involved in the community. He's one of the definite leaders of our team. He's obviously one of our best players, if not our best player. He's a really good player. Well, first of all, I like our tackle position. I think we got a few guys that can play there with Donovan, Mike Farrell, and Adam Gress. I think we got some guys there that can rotate and play. What I like about Donovan is first of all, I think he's a great kid. He's a mature kid for a young player. Number 2 is I think he's big. I love his size. He's explosive. He's tough, smart, instinctive. I think he's got a chance to be and I'm probably putting pressure on him. I told him this to his face, so I'm not telling him anything. I haven't told him, but I think he's got a chance to be a pretty special player. So, he can. We left him at right tackle because Gress. We felt good about Gress in the left-handed stance, so we left Gress on the left side. But probably when Gress graduates, maybe Donovan can be a left tackle. But he's a good player.
Okay. Other guy I want to ask about on the line was Eric Schreiber. Had a lot of accolades coming out of high school and hasn't really seen the field too much so far.
No, he hasn't played that much.
No, so I was just curious what your thoughts are on him. If is he competing for a starting role? Do you see him contributing?
Yeah, I really people when I took the job and the proof's going to be in the pudding when we start playing how well these guys play. But I really like our offensive line. I like their toughness. I think they're smart. And so he's a backup guard right now, but he's got a chance to play. He's in that 8 to 10 guys that I always talk about that will rotate in there and play. John Urschel's the right guard, and he's really, really good. Stankiewicz is the center. Diffenbach, Archie DeCano, they'll be battling for the left guard, but Schreiber can play left too. So Schreiber's right in there. He's in the top 4 at the guard position. He's a tough kid. He's a competitive kid. He's a really good run blocker. He's got to work on his pass protection. But I really like the way he plays. He competes. he loves Penn State. He's a great kid. You know, I just spoke in Scranton last Thursday night, and everybody was asking about him. That's where he's from, and I really think if he keeps battling and he keeps playing the way how he improved in the spring, that he'll have a chance to play for us.